The United Nations is predicting as many as 12 million people may need humanitarian assistance in Ukraine. And as we watch from afar, it's hard to know what we can do to help. ShelterBox USA President Carrie Murray is sharing how they're working to offer relief to refugees. We want to thank Carrie for joining us today on The Four. Carrie, thanks for making time with us. I want to get right into what does ShelterBox do to help people in these types of situations?
Sure. So ShelterBox is a global humanitarian relief organization that is really preparing every day for the worst day ever. We focus on one of the basic needs we all have as humans, and that's emergency shelter. So ShelterBox brings emergency shelter and then basic household items that people who've been displaced really need. So basic things like water purification, solar lanterns, blankets, cook sets, could be heaters, sometimes clothing. But we respond to the biggest crisis situations across our world. So civil war situations like in Syria, where we've been responding for 10 years, and we also work in natural disasters.
So conflict arenas are not new for you as an organization. You understand what's going on. That being said, what is your understanding of the humanitarian situation on the ground right now in Ukraine?
So we're seeing a humanitarian crisis that is rapidly unfolding and evolving. And what we know right now is the UN is estimating that 12 million people will need humanitarian assistance. So far, 874,000 people have fled Ukraine to neighboring countries. So that's Poland, that's Hungary, Romania. And what we're going to see is continued movement and displacement with refugees. Poland seeing 50,000 new people a day. So what we're also seeing is a huge level of internal displacement as well within Ukraine. And what they're anticipating is maybe as many as 4 million people displaced internally, and then potentially 6+ million people, refugees. So it's a huge, massive displacement of people. And this is something that ShelterBox really works every day to help just meet the basic needs for people who are forced to flee with little more than maybe the clothes on their back. And that's what we're seeing in this situation. People fleeing really the country just for safety for them and their families, and they're not bringing a lot with them.
So what does that mean on the ground immediately? ShelterBox's actions immediately on that front, how do you help?
So ShelterBox has deployed a team. And so we're sending a highly trained, specialized team, logistics professionals, people who specialize in safety, security, supply chain. And what they're going to be doing in Eastern Europe is really to identify what are the shelter and household needs of people who've been displaced. And this is going to be evolving over the days, weeks, and months to come. So as an organization, we first start by coordinating. We coordinate within the UN shelter system. And so we're focusing on really how can we best meet the needs of the most vulnerable in this situation. There are many humanitarian actors who will be responding. So we coordinate. So we work within the UN system to coordinate with other humanitarian aid organizations. And we're going to look at what are the shelter gaps? Where are people moving? Where are people most vulnerable? And what are the unique needs that they have? And what we'll be doing is the assessment to determine how best can ShelterBox help respond to this crisis. And what we know is in these situations, the needs can change rapidly. It's winter now, it's very cold. So we're looking at things like blankets. We're looking at things like solar lanterns, our shelters that we provide. And so we'll have a very unique custom set for the unique needs of this situation.
So Carrie, people, they watch the news, they see this happening, they want to help, but we know that in this type of situation, sending food, sending clothes, things like that, it's not logistically possible to really get that over there and help. What is the best way for people to get involved? And we only have a few seconds left. Can you tell them how they can support you?
Sure. So ShelterBoxUSA.org, we always need support for our work. This is a private charitable organization. There's an avalanche of goodwill. So many people want to help. Find a great organization that's working on the ground, that's working on the basic needs for these families. And for ShelterBox, our website is ShelterBoxUSA.org. There are so many ways to participate, and we know that the whole world is watching this situation. Oftentimes, in the worst of times, you see the best of humanity, and the whole world is coming together to help the people of Ukraine. So please, if you can, participate.
Thank you so much. Carrie Murray, president of ShelterBox USA. Thank you for what you do, helping people all around the world in these conflicts and terrible situations. And thanks for spending some time with us today on The Four.
Thank you.